Now, the US midterm elections are around the corner. Time for a masterclass in how not to make a political advert.
Mark Block here. Since January, I've had the privilege of being the Chief of Staff to Herman Cain and the Chief Operating Officer of the Friends of Herman Cain. Together, we can do this. We can take this country back.
I am America, one voice, united we stand.
Thank you, Michigan Senator Debbie Spend It Now. Debbie spends so much American money. You borrow more and more from us. Your economy get very weak. Ours get very good. We take your jobs.
Something's happening in the world. Your vote will decide who answers that call. Whether it's someone who already knows the world's leaders, knows the military, someone tested and ready to lead in a dangerous world. It's 3 a.m. and your children are safe and asleep. Who do you want answering the phone?
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
Big cuts. Ron Paul's been screaming it for years. Budget crisis? No problem. Cut $1 trillion year one. That's trillion with a T. Department of Education? Gone. Interior, Energy, HUD, Commerce? Gone. Later, bureaucrats. That's how Ron Paul rolls.
Wow. Well, we're joined now by the political coach. Yes, there are people who try and tell politicians what to do. I don't know how successful they are, PeterBotting. The adverts you've just seen are his top 5 worst American political adverts. Why are they your worst?
They're light on policy, they are ridiculous. Often the only good thing they've got going for them is their brevity. And they're supposed to be emotive, they're supposed to persuade people, they're supposed to get people out to vote.
Right.
And these don't do any of that.
OK, you didn't like them. Do people like them? I mean, being emotive does work, doesn't it?
It does, but it has to have a call to action. They don't do the job. All of those candidates lost.
Right, well, let's look at one of them, the Hillary Clinton one, I think, in 2008. Particularly, what was it that you really didn't like about that one?
She claimed that she should be elected because she knows people around the world. And that she would be the right person to answer, to make the calls at 3 o'clock in the morning.
To the White House, right.
Who's not going to answer a call from the President of the United States?
And in that sense, does that fulfil your ridiculous...
It's ridiculous, it's light on policy, it's devoid of policy, actually.
Right, what did you think of them as a group?
They're a bit of a mismatch of WWF, sort of wrestling. And I agree with Peter that, generally if the president's ringing at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're going to pick up the phone. I'm not sure they would cross the transatlantic water sort of test that well.
Well, what makes a good ad?
Something that, first of all, reaches out to more than your core voters, which is a problem that we have in the UK. Something that gets people interested in what you're talking about, and actually triggers action on your part, gets people out to vote, persuades people. Right.
Julian Huppert, in your mind, would you like to see that sort of advertising here? Forgetting about money just for a moment, is that the sort of thing that could help the Liberal Democrats?
No, I find it really painful. It's a sort of trivialisation of politics. It's a sort of lack of policy, lack of vision. You also find, and certainly what has happened in the US, is the vast majority of these ads are negative. And, we already have a lot of cynicism, some for good reason in politics.
But isn't politics these days is quite negative, isn't it?
And that's the problem. I would much rather see something which was much more positive about people setting out their vision. You've heard from the three of us different visions, and I hope we could all talk about what the good things are rather than just, do the whole slag each other off, which can be very painful.
In the US as well. In my blog on the 5 best, Ronald Reagan's Another 4 Years was a brilliantly positive campaign.
There are some, but particularly because of the funding rules in the US, which do come in, you can spend far more money on negative campaigning than on positive campaigning, so the vast majority is negative there.
Right.
I would hate to see that sort of thing come in here.
Right. Peter, though, when it comes to negative adverts, in the end, parties who are struggling do revert, don't they, to that negative campaigning, and it must be because they think it works, or is it that they're only going for their core at that stage?
Only going for their core, And it does get more and more negative. I mean, in the States as well, they're also spending sort of £12 per person, per voter, compared to our 50p per voter. So there's a big difference in terms of budget.
And what does it do in terms of turnout in the US?
I think
Not
everybody
much,
in
does
this,
it really?
I don't know. I think in the States, everybody defines themselves almost by a party.
But there are also
Whereas here,
adverts.
that's declining.
Right.
There are adverts in the US designed to suppress turnout. I mean, it is a very active goal there, which is pretty painful.
You wouldn't want to see that sort of advertising here? You don't think it's something that the Labour Party would be able to do to either improve its image, if you like, improve the image of Ed Miliband in people's minds?
I think for all political parties, actually, because politics has become so discredited over, not just over the last few years, but actually over the course of my lifetime, the only way really to win people back and to get people out and voting for you is to show them in their local communities that you're making a difference. And so I think all political parties make adverts, and that's a lot to do with the fact I think that the others are all making them. But actually the thing that really makes a difference, I think, is when they see you doing things in their local community that actually change their lives.
We also have a problem here, though, because of the Electoral Commission. They tell you that there's an political advert coming on, which basically gives you permission to go and make a cup of tea and not watch the advert.
Yes, that's the key, isn't it? Don't ever say you're about to watch a party political broadcast. Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you.